When you hear the term civil engineering, what comes to mind? Structures, bridges, you name it. This video will assist you in learning more about and comprehending the history of civil engineering, some great engineers and scientists and their works, as well as the critical role of civil engineering in society. But before that, let me define civil engineering. Civil engineering is a broad field of study that involves the design, construction, maintenance, and operation of structures and facilities built on the environment. It is also a discipline that is typically broken into various sub-branches like architecture, civil engineering, and mechanical engineering. It can be found in the public sector as well as in the private sector.
The history of engineering can be roughly divided into four overlapping phases, each marked by a revolution. The first phase is the pre-scientific revolution. The engineering before the scientific revolution is where the forerunners of engineers, practical artists, craftsmen, proceeded mainly by trial and error. Yet, thinking combined with imagination and produced many marvelous devices. The second phase is the Industrial Revolution. The first phase of modern engineering emerged in the scientific revolution. Galileo's two new sciences seeks a systematic explanation and adapts a scientific approach to practical problems. The third phase is the Second Industrial Revolution. Engineering in the Second Industrial Revolution symbolized by the advent of electricity and mass production. The chemical and electrical engineering developed in close collaboration with chemistry and physics, which played vital roles in the rise of chemical, electrical, and telecommunication industries. The fourth or the last revolution is the Information Revolution. Engineering in the information age is the research and development boom in all fields of science and technology after World War II because of the Cold War and Sputnik effect.
In the past, the term civil engineering did not exist. There are only military engineers assigned in making of machines of war. It was in 18th century when the term civil engineering was coined to include all things civilian as opposed to military engineering. Civil engineers are those whose job was civil and non-military jobs. In 1747, the first engineering school, the National School of Bridges and Highways in France, was opened. John Smeaton, the founder of Eddystone Lighthouse, was the first self-proclaimed civil engineer.
Let's move on to the types of civil engineering. There are 6 types of civil engineering. First is structural engineering. Second is construction engineering and management. Third is geotechnical engineering. Fourth is environment and energy engineering. Fifth is water resources engineering. And lastly is transportation engineering. Let me discuss it one by one. Structural engineering. Structural engineering is a branch of civil engineering that involves the application of the laws of physics, mathematics, and empirical knowledge to safely design the bones and load-bearing elements of man-made structures. Construction engineering management refers to the use of critical thinking in technical and scientific fields to improve a construction project. This often involves designing and executing new solutions and faster processes that can help overcome worksite obstacles and improve efficiency. Geotechnical engineering. Geotechnical engineering is a science that explains mechanics of soil and rock and its application to the development of humankind. Environmental and energy engineering. It is the branch of engineering that is concerned with protecting people from the effects of adverse environmental effects, such as pollution, as well as improving environmental quality. Fifth is water resources engineering. Water resources engineering is the study and management of equipment, facilities, and techniques that are used to manage and preserve life's most plentiful resource. Transportation engineering or transport engineering. It is the application of technology and scientific principle to the planning, functional design, operation, and management of facilities for any mode of transportation in order to provide for the safe, efficient, rapid, comfortable, convenient, economical, and environmentally compatible movement of people and goods transport.
So, this is the famous engineers and scientists and their works. First one is Nikola Tesla. He is the greatest engineer and one of the most underrated electrical engineers and didn't receive credit for a lot of his invention. And second one is Thomas Edison, an American inventor and referred to as a great businessman. He holds an outstanding 1,097 patents, a record. The third one is Henry Ford, an engineer and industrialist who founded the Ford Motor Company. Next one is Archimedes, a classic scientist in making. Archimedes was a great engineer, mathematician, physicist, and astronomer. He had he has had a lasting influence in these areas, and although very little is known about the man himself, his invention have stood the test of time and laid the foundation of many modern design. Next one is Nikolaus Otto, a German inventor, and Otto is credited with the development of the four-stroke engine, also referred to as the Otto cycling engine. Leonardo da Vinci, the most for his painting, Da Vinci was actually ahead of his time when it came to engineering. You might be surprised to know that his technological ingenuity was right up there, was one of the best. So next one is Wilbur and Orville Wright. So the brothers were responsible for creating the airplane. Originally bike mechanics, their love of kite flying and curiosity led them to new heights. The next engineer is Alexander Graham Bell, a Scottish-born engineer, scientist, and inventor. Bell is credited with providing us with the first telephone. His work was strongly influenced by the fact that unusually both his mother and wife were deaf. The next one is George Stephenson, a civil and mechanical engineering who developed and built steam locomotives for some of the first ever railways. Because of his impact, he is sometimes referred to as the father of the railway. Last one is Elon Musk. Last by no means least on the list is Elon Musk. The South African-born modern-day engineer, inventor, and businessman is blazing a trail that is sure to influence the human race for years to come. There's no doubt that his ambition and ability to make things happen is outstanding.
Next is contribution. How the civil engineerings have helped to improve the quality of life for society. What do civil engineerings contribute to the society? Civil engineering has played a vital role in increasing the health and quality of life. From developing better water supplies, municipal sewer system, wastewater treatment plants, to the design of building to protect us from natural hazard and provide health care. To improve agriculture to water sources. Contribute of civil engineering to societal improvement in terms of quality of life since then. Civil engineerings have played a critical role in society. In general, they contribute to the development of society and ensure its citizens' safety. Contribute to civil engineering, example, like roads, bridges and building, water system and tunnels.
The Philippine Civil Engineering Timeline from 1949 up to present. 1949, the laws separating status between architects and civil engineering was passed. 1950, the Philippine Association of Civil Engineers prepared and lobbied the passing of Republic Act 544. 1955, the Republic Act 1383 was approved. It also known as the National Water Works and Sewerage Authority. 1956, June 16, the civil engineering law was further amended by the Republic Act 1582. 1961, the Association of Structural Engineers of the Philippines, or the ASEP, was founded. 1965, the Republic Act 4566 was enacted on June 19. It also known as the Regulating Construction or the Contractor's License Law. 1967, the Angat Dam or a concrete water reservoir embankment hydroelectrical dam that supplies the Manila metropolitan area was opened. 1974, on February, the first election of officers of PICE was held, and Engineer Cesar Caliwara became its first president. 1975, on August 13, the Profession Regulation Commission or the PRC recognized the PICE as the only official organization of the civil engineering in the Philippines. 1977, the Presidential Decree 1096, other known as the National Building Code of the Philippines or the NBC, signed by President Ferdinand Marcos and implementing rules and regulation. 1982, Mangat Dam was completed. It is a large rock-filled dam in the island of Luzon. 1987, the DPWH and the MPWH serve as the primary engineering and construction arm of the government, responsible for planning, designing, construction, and maintenance of infrastructure. At 2001, Philippine Institute of Civil Engineering or DPICE was awarded by the PRC as the most outstanding accredited professional organization. The following are the reference of our presentation and the question to test your knowledge, the group for members, and that's all. Thank you.